Hello, my name is Mike Moe, and I'm the Director of Tourism Development and Strategic Partnership for the Washington Tourism Alliance. Welcome to the State of Washington's Destination Module for the City of Seattle. Our presentation today will be given by John Boucher, the Vice President of Tourism for Visit Seattle. Welcome, John. Tell us about your beautiful city.
Thanks so much, Mike. Really a great pleasure to be providing an overview on Seattle and Washington State. I'm going to really focus on Seattle and look forward to providing updates to all of our travel trade partners. So again, thanks for the opportunity. Just for some awareness and orientation on Seattle's location, we're located right here in the heart of Puget Sound. You can see a lot of water and green areas surrounding us, and I'll touch on that in a moment. From a location standpoint, we're about a 2.5-hour drive north of Portland, and also about a 2.5-hour drive south of Vancouver, British Columbia. Very much popular destinations for pairing with Seattle when it comes to itineraries, especially for our international markets. So a really nicely situated location and a great gateway into Washington State and the Pacific Northwest. From an accessibility standpoint, Seattle Tacoma International Airport is our major hub and gateway into the destination. SeaTac has grown immensely in the last decade. It's now, prior to the pandemic, the 8th busiest airport in the US. It serves 91 destinations from 31 airlines, including 28 international destinations. So some really great connectivity and an equidistant location between London and Tokyo. So for many of our global airline partners, Seattle is a preferred West Coast gateway. And something to keep in mind for all of your travelers, particularly international, it is one of the most convenient and shortest flights into the West Coast. From an attraction standpoint and exploring the city center, I really recommend folks get started at Pike Place Market. Our heartbeat of our city and one of the longest running farmers markets in the United States. It started in 1907. And for first-time visitors and locals even, or visitors that have been many times before, there's always something new and fun to see at the market. This is our arts and culture hub. This is food and beverage, artisans of all kinds, fresh flowers and produce from around the state, and some buskers and music as well. So really just a great way to get introduced to Seattle's center. Now, moving across the city, the iconic Space Needle, widely recognized probably as much as Pike Place Market and our skyline. It was built in 1962 for the World's Fair that Seattle hosted. It went through an extensive $100 million renovation just a couple of years ago. So for those who have visited, I recommend a repeat visit. For first-time visitors, what a wonderful way to get a unique viewpoint of the city and the surrounding region. You see a beautiful shot here of Mount Rainier in the background and water out to the west. Right at the footsteps of the Space Needle is CHIHULY Garden and Glass, representative of our arts and culture community here in Seattle, and specifically blown glass artwork, which Seattle is home to. Dale CHIHULY, a world-renowned artist, is from the Seattle area, and this is a permanent exhibition that celebrates his artwork that I think really encapsulates everything that we have to offer from an arts and culture perspective. CHIHULY Garden Glass is an indoor and outdoor exhibition. For our trade partners, important to note that it is a combo ticket with a Space Needle if you so choose. These two attractions are also sold by our partners at City Pass. A really convenient way for first-time visitors or international visitors to see all of our marquee attractions throughout the city center. Moving down to our waterfront, great shot here in the evening of our Seattle Great Wheel. Again, a really unique and creative way to see the city out over onto the water. You also see on the right side of the slide there a shot of one of our Washington State ferries. So the waterfront serves as a great hub for some of our great seafood restaurants and attractions, but also a jumping off point for itineraries out to the Olympic Peninsula, for example, or with our partners at Victoria Clipper, going up to Victoria, British Columbia, or whale watching up in the San Juan Islands. Certainly our culinary scene is something special in Seattle and the Pacific Northwest. A great shot from one of our restaurant partners here at Westward in South Lake Union. Fresh seafood comes to mind, I think, for many. Salmon, Dungeness crab, and oysters is pictured here. You also see a glass of our great Washington wine. Washington State's home to over 1,000 wineries and is the second largest wine growing region in the United States. So wonderful pairing there between some of our local bounty and certainly wine. For beer lovers, we have over 200 breweries in Washington State, and Seattle is really one of the hubs for the craft beer movement in the late 1970s and early 1980s. So something for every taste. And we also have over 100 distilleries across the state as well. So lots to explore both in Seattle and around the region as well. There's a lot of new things happening in our region, and I certainly want to provide an update for folks, especially as we're all recovering and reopening from COVID, about what to expect in Seattle in the fall of 2021 and into 2022. A lot happening at our gateway, at our airport, at SeaTac Airport. The North Satellite, which is primarily serviced by Alaska Airlines for domestic travelers, has been fully modernized and is opening now in summer of 2021. This is an operation of around 20 gates, new common spaces, food and beverage, retail, really a state-of-the-art experience for everybody coming through that part of the airport. Alternatively, we have the International Arrivals Facility opening in fall of 2021. This is going to be the welcome mat, so to speak, for all of our international visitors coming to Seattle and Washington State. It's a 500,000 square foot facility that doubles our capacity to welcome visitors through SeaTac and into our region. I see a beautiful shot there of Mount Rainier, and off to the right, the elevated bridge that passengers will take when going to the facility. Really an enhanced experience for everybody and first impression for the destination. So we're excited about that facility opening. We have Climate Pledge Arena opening this fall of 2021. This is located on the Seattle Center campus nearby to Space Needle, as you can see in this rendering. Climate Pledge Arena is going to host over 200 events annually. It is home to our NHL professional hockey expansion franchise, the Seattle Kraken. Lots of concerts and special events as well. And it's located within walking distance or a short monorail ride from all of our downtown hotels. So really great proximity for all of our visitors coming into the area. It's also going to be the world's first fully sustainable arena, which is a really exciting initiative from our partners at Amazon. Their Climate Pledge is the namesake of the arena, and I think represents what we all hope to see from venues moving forward. From a sports perspective, it's also worth noting that our other two stadiums are within walking distance, and those stadiums are home to the Seattle Mariners, our professional baseball franchise, as well as Lumen Field, that is home to the Seattle Seahawks professional football, and also the Sounders FC, our professional soccer franchise. So plenty of options for everybody right in the heart of the city. We're also really expanding our light rail, which is going to give visitors and locals alike greater accessibility across the region. There's currently light rail service from SeaTac Airport into downtown Seattle, just a fare of $3 and about a 40-minute ride. Highly advisable for folks who are staying in the downtown area prior to renting a car for a fly drive itinerary or perhaps connecting to a different city. So highly advise that as an option for folks. This is a rendering of the service that will expand over to Bellevue. Our partners in Bellevue are just across Lake Washington from downtown Seattle, and the light rail service will also extend north as well. So a great option to provide everyone flexibility without having to rent a car for a shorter stay in the city. I also introduced the waterfront, but that is going through an incredible redevelopment at the moment. Our elevated freeway that went along the waterfront has been demolished and removed and replaced by a deep bore tunnel. The result is going to be a lot more green space on the waterfront, walkability, bike trails and paths for folks as well, and fewer cars, which is wonderful. Also great connectivity between Pike Place Market and the waterfront through a pedestrian bridge that will be built in 2023. So really exciting to have greater connectivity between our downtown core and our waterfront, as those are two really wonderful areas that all visitors should explore. Finally, I'll just touch on that proximity. When we showed that map of Seattle, you saw a lot of water and green surrounding the downtown area, which is a wonderful asset of ours. Seattle is surrounded by 3 national parks, including Olympic National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Mount Rainier, as well as North Cascades National Park. We also have areas like the San Juan Islands that are home to orca whales, just 2.5 hours north of the city, as well as Mount St. Helens, a national volcanic monument. And that's all on the western part of our state. So as you extend east into wine country to find some of our great destinations that are jumping off points into national parks as well. Really a lot to offer, and we're excited that Seattle is really that gateway around the state, but also to the Pacific Northwest. One last note, just a resource for everybody. Anytime you need itinerary recommendations, partner recommendations, you can always jump onto our website at visitseattle.org/TPG. And that's a link to our professional travel planners guide. Lots of resources for everybody to reference there. And you can certainly reach out to me as well. Thanks so much.
Thank you all for joining us today. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me or John, and be sure to check out all our other destination modules on the Washington State Travel Trade channel. Thanks for watching.